Hello, my name is Miranda H.P.,
And I'm Connor Calloway.
and we are the Bountiful Bards,
Please join us in our first ever recorded D&D campaign.
the Fountains of Cathaidra.
All right, Leah, are you prepared for your covert operation into the city of Miro and hopefully to infiltrate the church during one of its ceremonies and acquire an ancient artifact, possibly protected, trapped, and so on and so forth?
Well, I hope so. My night vision goggles were on back order.
Oh. Well, alrighty then. Okay. So let's see here. So the next morning you wake up, you did all your preparations the previous night. You said you put a level 3 invisibility inside your piano, your magical piano of spell storing and whatnot. Or the Symphony of Ivory, as I named it.
Yeah, Symphony of Ivory, but it's not ivory because we would never harm an elephant.
No, this is magical ivory.
Right, so you can create it without ever being even near an elephant. You don't even have to know what an elephant looks like. You just read the spell.
If it helps, there's no elephants in Cathaidra.
No, that makes it worse. You killed them all. What have you done?
I didn't kill all of them. You just don't know of any. There's definitely not any elephants in the country of Cathaidra. The rest of the world, who knows?
They were hunted to extinction.
I don't know. I haven't built that far. As far as I know, there's nothing but shadow outside the Cathaidra, and it's just...
They're just little flying unicorns.
No unicorns.
No, okay.
I'm not eating that. Not for me, unfortunately.
All right, so let me flip my page so we are ready. Okay.
All right. So next morning, as you're preparing, you hear from up high, "Hey, they're calling in the people. The bells are ringing. I'm going to be starting the ceremony soon."
All right.
Jimothy is up on top of the balcony that you were placed yesterday, looking through the view longer contraption that's up there, also known as a telescope. I always find it fun how whenever people are trying to do post-apocalyptic writing in a fantasy world and they're always describing something very simple as if, as you would see it for the first time, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what that is.
Well, it's like Leonard of Quirm from Terry Pratchett. He's like, I call it the going underwater machine. He's like, so you're
You're submersing.
He's like, yes, we are indeed under the water. And it's like, so like a under the marine life,
right?
Submarine. He's like, yeah, but that who would even think of that? And
he did it so well. The train as well. It's like, oh, it was a cylinder contraption that put out steam and then it started moving, or a vehicle, and then using the word vehicle is always good, thankfully. But anyways, Jimothy says this, and you look up and you see the little baby dragon get all excited, or he's probably more of a teenager now, kind of hopping back and forth, and he picks up Jimothy by the scruff of his armor and glides back down as Jimothy gives out a bit of a scream as they land next to you.
Do I need to put another Wilhelm scream in there?
No, I don't think you need to do that.
That was really fun, though.
You hear rumbling of footsteps as Tathios comes walking up, and she puts down in front of her son a small little bottle. And she says, "All right, you three be careful. When you're done, Rizar, you are to return here after dropping them off. Lia, Jimothy, you'll have to get out on your own. Are you prepared?"
As prepared as I think we'll ever be. Jimothy, did you eat something? Your stomach grumbling will give us away if nothing else will.
Mm-hmm. Most like your farts, too.
That's what I said.
I mean, you do that when you're sleeping, mostly.
You sleep in armor. It must be so much worse for you.
Do you want me to not sleep in armor in case we get ambushed?
Just cooks in there.
Do you want me to fight something in my tighty-whities?
Would you like to?
No, that's why I wear my armor when I sleep. Logic would dictate. Isn't that something you say?
Okay, maybe you need some happy juice. Anyway, I'm good to go.
I don't need no happy juice.
Miss Sword of the Sky.
I cast sword. Yeah. And he puts the sword back in his scabbard. All right, Rizar goes, all right. And he picks up the bottle. He goes, should I take this now? She states, well, you can wait till you soar down a little bit, then yes, I would drink it. He goes, okay. And he kind of does a little mouth trick, and then the bottle vanishes somewhere in his mouth.
No, he's a dragon. He can just, eat the whole thing.
Yeah, just real quick and then crunch. Like you would hide gum or something like that when we used to be in high school, or just like, you chewing gum? And no, and it'd be somewhere, under your tongue or something like that.
Just let me know when you're about to take the potion, something, so that I can do the invisibility at the same time, so that we're both invisible? Or should I wait till we get right there?
Oh, no.
Well, no, because I don't want them to just see us in the air. So
Tathio says, I think it would be best that when my sun vanishes from beneath you, you cast your spell then.
okay, sounds good.
So you just don't look like you're astride some giant invisible wormling flying through the sky and be shot at by ballista.
Yeah, that would suck. That'd be quite a damper for the day.
It would.
Okay, so this is the one spell that my piano can hold. So,
Let's rock and
Jimothy,
roll.
I'm expecting you to do well. You're all oiled up. You're gonna be.
I'm not going to kill anybody. This is a stealth mission, right?
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're all oiled up, so you won't make too much noise, right?
Let's just go.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
We descend towards Miro in the sound of bells.
Right. Here, give me 1 second. I'm just looking up one thing.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. He does get negative for his stealth, but since he's going to be invisible, he doesn't.
Right, it just evens out.
Right, because invisible in my homebrew, so nothing officially says that, but if you're invisible, you get advantage on stealth. I mean, it's just.
I thought you were always had advantage on stealth checks if you're invisible.
I don't recall. I think I just started doing. It doesn't matter. For this game, that's what's going to go on. So, Rizar kind of hops about a little bit, flexes his wings like he's revving up, chases his tail for a second, and then he scoops Jimothy up on his neck, and then he comes up from behind you, you give a little leap, and then he gets up underneath and slides you down the back of his neck as well so that you both are ready. And then he looks to his mother, who gives him a very, formal nod, as if sending someone off to battle. Rizar returns the polite nod and turns and starts making his way down the long hallway of this citadel out to the cliffside. Is there anything you'd like to say or do before the flight begins?
Not like in character, but out of character. So, can you give me just a very brief sort of, if I'm a dragon's eye view, so to speak, of Miro. So the church is in the very, very center?
Not in the center per se. You could say it is. So the city of Miro, and this is for people, this is for people listening so they can remember as well. The city of Miro is crescent shaped around the giant lake.
So crescent pointing down or pointing up?
Well, the way you're facing, because you're going to be flying south, it looks like it's pointing up. So here's the lake. You're up here, and I'm showing this with my hands, everyone. You're up here. The city is down here. So you got to fly across the lake to get there. Now, as for the temple, the church, the holy place, it is...
the synagogue, the whatchamacallit.
It is if I remember correctly, it is in the first district, which is a large area that was the original village for when the people were placed there after the shattering by none other than the goddess herself.
Is it divvied up into triangles? Or
No triangles. It's just a large oval park that is also on the shoreline. It's like a beach park area, and then off to the left and right is a bunch of fishing vessels, docks, and stuff like that when they go fishing out in the lake.
So
we've
got the lake is the clown nose, and the city around it is the big smile.
Yeah, and you're on the forehead.
The church is the front teeth or the lower teeth.
It's the front. It's the top teeth.
Front teeth.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's up here. So I'm gonna draw that.
I gave you a map of Cathaidra.
You did, and then. But my drawing is way funnier.
That is funny. Okay, I love it.
All right, I just wanted to kind of
Hey, whatever you need, it's all right.
It just mentally helps me to think, okay, so we're going to be right off of the water for egress purposes. Water is delightful.
Yes, in case you fall. But you're not going to be going on the water. You have to land on the building.
No, I know that. For egress. Ingress is coming in. Egress is going out.
Fancy.
So we have to GTFO. And we want to get towards the center of the lake anyway, don't we? Isn't there something there that we want to take a look-see?
No. Tathio says that she recalls the fountain being somewhere in the lake, like on an island. But shortly after the shrieking, a few years afterwards, the island vanished. So there's no idea where, you don't know where anything is.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So how long is it going to take us to get to a point to the lake anyway?
Well, I can just tell you it's about a 20-minute flight since he's going to be gliding in gravity on his side to Miro.
Okay, and he's going to be from high up enough that we don't have to take the invisibility till like last minute, right?
Right. In fact, did you say that out loud? Just kind of talking to Rizar. Rizar says, I'm actually going to fly in low across the water because I believe there's going to be some fog down there that Mom's going to try and help us out with. And then when we get closer, I'll take off. I'll turn invisible and we can go a little bit higher and I can scoot you right at the temple.
Okay.
Yeah, this is exciting.
It is exciting.
I feel like I'm doing something important.
You are.
Do, as he's walking. He goes, okay, we're almost there. Is everybody ready? Jimothy's like, I'm never okay with this, but I don't have a choice, do I? He goes, nope.
Do I need to tie your mouth shut, Jimothy? Are you going to be able to keep from screaming?
Just fly. Rizar, you hear Rizar giggle and it goes all the way up his throat as he does so. He stretches out his
silence, so you know.
He stretches out his left wing, closes it, and stretches out his right wing. And then both at the same time, you can see that where his wing joints are, he's like, as you would, start limbering up your shoulders and stuff like that.
Hear,
Tower, this is Tower. You're cleared for takeoff into your descent will be at a 15-degree slope, and I'm asking that you please check your lights, check your passengers, and have a good flight. Right there, overall.
I hope that picks up on the mic. He puts down his dragon goggles, his droggles as they are. No, there's no that. But
the aviator scarf,
right.
Little cap with the flaps.
Mom says I'll be able to open my eyes more the older I get, but no goggles. He goes up, puts both front paws on the lip of the edge, and starts to lean over, and you can just see below you the vast valley of your home. Miro, somewhere off in the distance is your village of Dewdrop. You see the large gleaming lake, and sure enough, you do see a fog begin to coalesce, not swiftly to raise alarm, but definitely it's been building for the last hour or so. There's a crack of thunder as you look up above you as well, and Rizar continues to say, yep, that's Mom's doing. Let's get in there. And then
do it.
He pushes off, and as soon as he does, he goes straight down. I want you to roll for me let's see. What helps?
Dexterity would be probably best for me.
No. You're holding on. You're fine. I'm trying to think like a nerve check.
Charisma base?
Yeah, let's do a charisma saving throw. Just to give you the saving throw bonus. You're not saving me. You're not going to fall off. It's just to see how you're reacting.
17.
Oh, okay. You're fine. This is exciting for you. This is a thrill. Maybe Leah's a bit of an adrenaline junkie now after all the things she's been through. Jimothy, not so much. He doesn't scream, but you definitely feel him tighten as you go swooping straight down, both of you leaning back, just like on a roller coaster. You feel your stomach just start to lift. Rizar's wings aren't even fully out yet. He's just kind of enjoying the free fall. And then you're like, okay, the ground's coming. Okay, the ground's coming. The ground's coming. And then whoosh, out to either way. You hear his wings billow out like sheets in the wind, and then catch as his wings strengthen, and you see his shoulders flex. His entire body goes rigid as he curves and starts to streak over the trees, and then dipping down a little bit once the trees pass and starts going over the lake. As he's moving, he's leaving a wake behind him by the speed that he's going with his wings as well. You're low enough beneath the fog now to where nobody could probably see you coming, but you can definitely see every time he beats, there's just ripples that come from beneath him. And actually, he drags his toes a little bit in the water.
Low enough into the fog. Fog is on the surface.
Yeah, but you can, once you can see about, it's not super thick, about 5 to 10, 15 feet, but anybody looking at the fog can't see it.
What's really beautiful about us recording this now is where we are today at the time of this recording, we have dense fog advisories until like the middle of the day. So it is beautifully foggy and misty and spooky here right now.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we have a church down the road playing bells. So it kind of, did I plan all this? No, but I did think about it. So that does count.
We'll just say you did.
Yeah, we'll say I did.
It's part of your deeper plan.
Yes, my deeper plan. My true power as a DM is using my surroundings. So whenever we go to, if you're ever in a giant battle, we have to go to, I guess, somewhere in a war zone in the world.
Oh, God.
I'm joking. There's no guns in Cathaidra. Yet.
Percy hasn't found his way there.
Absolutely. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. You fly. It's exhilarating. You're starting to calm back down, but still being a little, not strict, not stern, but keyed up. Just that the adrenaline is still there, but it's more of an even kill instead of just the spike that you started with. After about 10 minutes or so of flying, you hear Rizar turns his head so he can catch your eye, letting you know that it's probably about time. And then you see his jaw just kind of flex. And then after a few minutes, it flexes and he goes, spits out a bunch of glass. And then it starts at the very top of his head. You see it begin like an egg cracking on top of the head. Or, a sploosh of water or syrup, molasses begins to go down his neck as it begins to vanish. You're now flying on a necklace dragon. It goes along the shoulders and out to the wings. And you see it as it does so. It's not one fluid motion. It's like ripples of waves of an ocean where it just seems to pulse and then goes out a little further, then slows, goes out a little further and slows, almost as if it's following his heartbeat as it's going out to the very tippy top of his tail. And you see a little bloop of silver as it glints in the fog light. As the dragon vanishes.
It reminds me of the turning day to night and night to day effect from God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, so beautiful.
The...
Such a beautiful game.
So I will also... We're now invisible, Jimothy is.
So as you see this dragon's form begin to turn invisible, you touch the pendant on your throat, or not on your throat, around your neck, and reach out your hand, and all of a sudden, beneath your hands, the ivory keys appear. You play the specific notage needed for that you've put into it when recording your spell, and then from the keys just comes this, eruption of silver, faint silver ghostly light as it goes over each of you, and you both become, in the same fashion, invisible. Right?
Yeah.
Rizar begins to climb. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to roll a stealth check for Rizar. Let's see how this goes. Let me bring up his chart. He's still considered a silver dragon wormling. Although, some people will say, well, he's a medium dragon. How can he carry 2 medium creatures? Well, medium is kind of a guideline. All these sizes are.
And it's relative, isn't it? I mean, like, a medium dragon is still a hell of a lot bigger than a medium human.
I also like to think that, just like with all, young creatures, there's growth spurts, and then you start to slow. Now, he's going to keep growing and be as big as Mom, but he definitely went from when you saw him originally, he's definitely grown about another 5 feet. So, he's...
Well, it's the equivalent of, like, a horse is considered a medium creature, and yet some horses can carry multiple humans, no problem.
Right.
Can I give him... Does he need advantage? Can I give Bardic Inspiration with invisibility, or does that delete it?
You actually can, but I already rolled, and he rolled pretty well. So
Okay.
I'm going to let you save that one for now.
I appreciate it. I thought I would ask just in case.
Not too well. Let's just say as he begins to grow up, there's a few individuals that are having a wonderful morning, it seems, on the shoreline. There's a nice little boat right there. They have a blanket set out. They're having a picnic.
Disadvantage on perception against invisibility.
They don't see you,
Okay.
but you can look down like through the dragon, through yourself, and you see as he beats his wings, the down gust hits them out of nowhere, and there's like, whoa. There's 2 women that are both there, a half-orc and a tiefling that are both sitting there trying to have a nice little breakfast, it seems, and just one of their skirts just kind of goes whoosh, not enough to show anything, but definitely, to show that there was a downbeat of air.
What season is this right now?
You were in the beginnings of, I want to say it's the spring equivalent, but I have to look it back up because I want to know. What season are you right now? We're in December, although it feels like, springtime for us.
Yeah.
Green tide, because there's a tide of green that comes in, because humans do that.
I'm the ghost of green tide. Eat your vegetables.
I really need to do my
As we fly over, so they were visited by the ghost of green tide telling them to eat their vegetables.
I really need to do my in-between episodes and talk about how I built this world. I think that'd be fun to do.
Yeah. We
both can do we'll talk about this later. We'll workshop. We'll workshop.
I'm looking at the mammoth kale I have planted behind you. It really is big.
You
Dinosaur
said you
kale.
said mammoth behind me, and I thought for a second, I was like, there's no way a mammoth is behind me. But this is my wife, so I have to trust her a little bit, don't I?
It's dinosaur kale technically, but it's enormous.
That makes it worse. Why is dinosaur kale in my house?
Because it tastes really good and it was easy to grow.
Can I run my car off of it?
Eventually. There's also rainbow shard, but anyway.
Right. As he continues to build, you see the temple in the distance. Now, you've seen this temple before, and if you look off to the left, you can see the solarium that you were at originally, where Jimothy got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, this is the first church of the angel, at least the first location. It is a hexagonal-shaped building with 3 floors, and what it looks like on top is another bluish dome, and then a balcony that wraps around the entire outside, and then on the outside of that is a large ring. Like, think of an aqueduct in a ring shape. People can walk underneath the archway, but then on top, it seems to be there are some guards, a good scattering of guards, probably about 2 to 3 dozen that are stationed up top.
On the balcony?
Yeah, but they're looking out of the ring, not the temple balcony. There might be a few guards. You haven't got that close yet, but you can definitely see, like, there's ballista set up. Now, it's just like with our nuclear silos and things like that. They've probably not been used in a while. They're maintained, but it's basically the guards will probably be bored for the most part. As you said in your last session, which is very intuitive, this is something that hasn't been touched, looked at, or probably thought about for a few generations. And who's going to attack a church?
Yeah.
Right. That's the mentality right now. After today, who knows what'll happen? Let's see.
I'm really hoping that they won't know I took anything. That's the plan.
That's the plan. Love it. Rizar beats higher and higher, and instead of continuing forward, he's just gaining elevation. And all of a sudden, you hear the sound of his wings, which aren't making a lot of noise as they are. Stop. And you feel yourself start to descend. Further, further. One guard kind of looks up, squinting in the sky, you notice, but kind of just shrugs and turns to look back at all the people that are coming in. And you see probably about 100 to 200 people making their way towards the temple right now from the main city proper, across the park, along the beautiful cobblestones. And the bells are ringing. We're at the belfry. We'll say the belfry is on the main temple proper. At each point of the hexagon,
That's what I was thinking.
there is a little tower that you can see silver bells ringing on the inside, which is good noise cover.
How bold.
Rizar comes closer, and splitting in between it's on the backside of the entrance, splitting 2 belfries. He comes to a landing. You see some dust skitter a little bit. You don't even hear his claws touch the cobblestone. It's almost like he landed on the pallets of his feet.
Cobblestone? I thought we were going on the dome.
Yeah, you're up there. Not cobblestone. Just
Is it brass?
it's marble.
Marble?
The marble. Oh yeah,
Blue marble.
This
Okay.
is bougie. No. The dome is like probably made from a bluish metal.
Well, because copper turns kind of blue when it
Yeah.
gets...
So let's do an old copper dome because this is the oldest building.
Okay.
And there is a marble walkway about 12 to 15. No, this is huge. About 20 feet from the dome, there is a marble walkway that is the hexagon shape, and there's the belfries and stuff. So he lands there on the pads of his feet, and then you kind of wobble a little bit as he goes to catch himself. It's quite impressive, the fact that this young dragon was able to slow his descent so well. And you know this as somebody who's flown planes before, and everybody listening in. Basically when you land a plane, you're crash landing. You have to stall out of the air to stop flight. And that's what he did. And the fact that there's no sliding like you've seen him do before, you got to be impressed that he's done well. You hear, "All right, Leah, good luck. I have an hour. I'm going to disagree with Mom and kind of just hang out in the air. If you need me, I won't see you, but I'll be here just in case, okay?"
I'll pat him gently and let him know that in an emergency, if I still have enough of this, if I still have a spell available, I can send you a message. Otherwise, let's see, what is that, 60 feet? I can always send off a flare, so to speak, if I need you, or all that good stuff. So
Okay, I'll be circling up high.
So I'll pat him on the neck or wherever I can reach.
We missed the perfect opportunity for the How to Train Your Dragon parody music, so it's too bad it's copyrighted, or I would definitely underlay it under that entire ride. You feel his snout push up against you as you both slide off, and and you can tell it's just him. You can feel his hot breath coming out of his nostrils. It smells minty. I like to think that dragon's breath has a sometimes a lovely or bad smell naturally to it, and for this particular silver dragon, it smells like pine dew and mint.
Well, his mom is always very keen on him brushing his teeth.
Absolutely. He has pretty teeth. And with that said, you both kind of feel the downbeat of his wings. There's a little bit of noise, but you're like, as 1, 2, 3, it gets quieter, quieter, and quieter.
Well, the bells help.
The bells are helping. Yeah, they're still ringing.
And the sound of people, because marble is very echoey, so I'm sure it's like quite a cacophony down there.
Absolutely. Through your boots, they're both well made, but you can feel how hard this stone is. You've walked on cobble, you've walked on natural boulders, you've walked on, cement and etchings, because they've had that technology to make cement, because, they're super smart and things like that. But this marble, it just feels hard under your feet. You can tell through the texture.
So we landed next to the dome. We did not land on top of it.
In between the dome and the edge. You could walk over to the edge and look off. The dome is right there in front of you. The belfry's to the left and right.
Okay.
Are you with me so far?
I'm trying to be. I'm sorry.
No. We need a whiteboard, don't we? Wouldn't that be good?
3 floors. We're on the 3rd floor.
I have an idea. So I have in front of me my tablet along with my laptop. And on my tablet, I have a sketch app. And I can just sketch you what it looks like. Just as a rough, and people at home, that's something you can do as well. Action required. Continue.
Because I'm trying to so if we're on so I'm trying to think of it like, for some reason, the only thing I get in my head is like a la Arabian Nights. You have the terraced walkway up at the very tippy top with the dome. And the dome sits on top of a building, or sometimes you have the dome that goes straight down into the ground and the doors go into the dome. So I'm trying to just picture where we are. And so and then the people are down below, and how tall are the walls? And I'm just trying to get for anyone who hasn't, if I haven't said this clearly before, I don't see images in my head. Some people they see in images, other people don't. I don't. So it's very difficult for me to quote unquote picture something if I'm not sure what it looks like.
Yeah.
Which is why Connor has maps and things like that for me for visual aid, because it's very difficult for me to spatially reason without any kind of physical construct. So it's not me being difficult. I swear, my brain just doesn't work this way.
Hey, everybody's different, and you gotta, as the DM, it's completely up to me to make sure that I can hit everybody's ability to imagine my story. If I don't do that, then I'm not a good DM. If you need audio cues, I need to help with that, and so on and so forth. And of course, this has given me the hardest time. New sketch, yes. Just create it. Save current sketch. Just. All right. So let's see. I have here the best sketch I could do at the moment. So the top picture is the building from the side. You got 3 floors, the dome, the 2 belfries on either end, and then down here is essentially what it looks like for you. You have the dome, and then you have the ledge, and then you're right in the middle of the walkway. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Now this is a large building, so you got maybe 100 feet to each belfry, if not, just a rough gauge. That's about how big that is. So, tell me, what do you want to do?
Okay, so I want to do kind of a quick survey. Who's around me? What's near me?
Give me a perception check.
Okay.
Thunk.
I know, that one hit really hard. 14.
That's all right. 14. Nobody in your general vicinity. You can definitely see an individual to the left of you outside the bell tower with the door open. He's just kind of sitting there looking up at the tower, kind of looking around, a little bored. And then somebody from inside says, I guess, something to him, and he just kind of acknowledges them with a wave, says a word back you can't really hear, and then continues just kind of waiting. Seems like he wasn't needed inside for the bell work.
Okay, so there's only one that we see. And the left, right?
Yeah, so and to the right, the door to the belfry is open as well, but there's nobody outside of it. And Jimothy goes, they got to get up here somehow. So if we can figure out how they get up here, that'll be our way in, right?
I would suggest that, I'm going to tell Jimothy this very quietly, of course. I would suggest we look for like a maintenance hatch or something first.
Like a trapdoor?
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. Leah, roll me a history check from your own memory.
Plus 23.
23, yes. A memory comes back to you crystal clear of when you were probably about 10 years old and your parents and your brother came to Miro during the Festival of Last Light to stay with Uncle Larga and also partake in the celebration at the large temple. You know, inside the primary chamber where the ceremonies take place is the center of the building. In fact, when you looked up, you could see the dome from the inside that has beautiful mosaics and everything that is painted up above and to the left and to the right. And just basically the outer wall is where all the, office work, residential area and stuff like is for the people who work and live there. So you do recall that much, that through the dome in front of you is a 3-floor drop to the center chamber, which is a pedestal. Hexagons are all the rage in this faith, as you know. So it's a hexagon-shaped pedestal that's raised about 10 feet off the ground. A stage for the archcleric to be able to sit and speak, and the way the inside works, everybody can hear him as the pews, benches, whatever we'd like to call them, are set up on each of the 6 sides so that they can be seen.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's how these big, at least this church is set up. Now the one back home looks like a standard church you and I would go to, or a mosque, temple, things like that. One person up front talking to the group and things of that sort. Speaking 101 since the ancient times, that kind of thing.
And mom and dad would have, dad probably at the very least, it just reminds me of when I was a kid. I knew every synagogue and church inside out because we would be in the back all the time. Because, the admin offices or, because we did the music. So we'd be setting up. So we'd go back and, we knew where all the storage was and stuff. Yeah. So I'm picturing that Leah is similar because her dad is always involved.
Yeah, so you would assume the first floor is basically where the public can go, look at all the artwork and, statues and things like that. Second floor is where probably all the business work was done. And then the third floor is probably the residential area.
So we need to get to the second floor?
Maybe. How would you locate this artifact you're looking for?
Well, I have a spell, but I'm not going to use... Oh, no, I have the wand thingy. Does the wand... That doesn't count... Does it count as a spell?
What kind of wand is it?
A wand of locate object, I believe.
It doesn't count as a spell, no. And you have
sweet.
charges. I think it's 5 charges for the wand. And you know what the object looks like. The dragon did use minor illusion to show you what she remembered it looked like.
It doesn't say how many charges I've got on it.
Well, you haven't used it in months, so it has all the charges. Because you roll a die every night to recharge it.
And I have a smoke-filled bottle still as well, which you told me was a potion of something.
Well, I don't know. It's now viscous materials as far as we're concerned.
Okay. All right, so wand of locate object.
Yeah.
So I am going to use that.
Locate object, I think, is it 1,000 feet or is it 100 feet?
I think it's 1,000 feet because 100 feet would be useless.
You say that unless you're in a house and you got to find your car keys.
Yeah, but then I thought it doesn't matter. At that point, it would still just be like beep, 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 beep.
Right? Where is it? Yeah, it's 1,000 feet.
Thank goodness.
You bring out the wand to cast. And as you do so, in your eyes, for your eyes alone, you see the faintest blip on the other side of the temple from where you are, so across the dome. So it's basically you look through the dome. It is on the 3rd floor to the front side of the temple.
Okay.
So you're on the opposite side of the building.
3rd floor on the front. 3rd floor front. I'm going to...
You said you wanted to look for a trapdoor, I think? No, but go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just think I remembered you saying that.
Yeah. I want to look for, maintenance hatches or... Because, I don't know, Leah strikes me as the type of person who, when she was a kid, just, would get bored and would just explore everything. And then, when you're in the churches a lot as a kid, your parents just let you go wherever because churches are supposed to be safe places or whatever. So you run around, you run amok, especially those of us growing up in the 90s when like safety was laughable. At least we didn't have lead toys. But
with the 23, you don't ever recall being up here. It seems like this was off after the first floor. It was off limits to the public.
Oh, sure. Well, I'm not expecting her to have gone up here. What I'm expecting is like maybe if we went in for the admin offices for whatever reason, like Dad was saying hi to the secretary or something that, like when you're a little kid, you're just kind of sitting there and you're like, huh.
No, I understand that.
That's the thing that says roof access, no entry, like stuff like that. So just trying to like mentally picture like where things are. Because if all these temples tend to be laid out the same way,
okay,
she's expecting a lot of those floor plans to be very similar. Because people don't like to change that because it's difficult.
I understand.
And they like consistency. That's how you hammer in a religion.
Wonderful. What would you like to do?
Well, as I had said before, I'm going to, or at least tried to before we started on the trapdoor thing. I'm going to basically hand Jimothy, like, found him, hand him the end of my scarf.
Okay.
And then tug slightly so he knows to follow me.
Okay.
And then we're going to make our way towards the blip so I can go towards where the third floor area is so then I can start examining that.
Okay, you can go left or right?
I don't know which way is the blip pulling me.
Well, it's directly on the other side of the dome.
Okay.
You can either go left and walk around the left side of the dome, or you can go right and go over the right side of the dome. Can't go over it. Can't go under it. Can't go through it, so go around it. Okay. Nothing's that damn wide.
Your facial expressions during that were great. It's too bad people won't see that. But, okay, so the guard you said was on my left. So we're going to peek around the right. And I imagine they're stationed further out because they're looking out over people. So we're going to kind of...
There's no guards up here. The guards are on the ring on the outside of the temple. Remember, there's an entire aqueduct ring on the outside of the hexagon temple that the guards are all on. These are just belfry workers.
Okay, so we're going to skirt...
No weapons, no swords, no armor, nothing.
We're going to skirt around to the right.
Okay.
Till the blip is ahead of me instead of tugging me.
You skirt to the right. It's always ahead of you, but it does get stronger as you go around the outside. I think locate object lasts for 10 minutes.
So we best scooch.
So you make your way around it after about a good 5-minute walk, and now you are definitely on the other side of the temple, and then directly below you is where the blip is. Now, you've passed a couple of belfries as well, and you've looked inside, and Jimothy has as well, and you definitely can see them pulling the ropes, but they also seem to be coming to a close soon, and they're going to be moving as the bells begin to slowly die off.
And bell pullers, they go down usually.
Correct.
How many charges did you say my wand of locate object has?
It has now 4.
Okay. And it regains them?
Every night.
Every night.
Long rest.
Okay, sorry, I'm writing it down on my
That's all right.
quick sheet.
We've been playing this for a year. It's hard to keep up with everything.
Well, I try not to flip back and forth between sheets, so I'm writing this on my quick sheet.
Okay.
Continue. Whoa.
Jimothy goes, I didn't see any trapdoors while we were walking around to here, so I don't know how they get down. You think they get down from inside? They're little bell towers?
Well, I've been up through the belfries before because, what's up there?
Right.
And they show you. But so I would suspect once they're done, we might be able... They don't lock them because they have to come out again after. What I know of human nature and what I've observed of this kind of concept, like they go pull the bells, they go down, they might listen to the service, they might go have a smoke break, they sit around and wait for them to have to go back up and do it again. So why would they lock the door? They'd have to unlock it and go out. So we might be able to get out that way.
Okay. Jimothy says, I'm going over to this bell tower. I'm going to look inside.
Okay. I will follow him.
Makes his way over.
Because obviously we have to stay together because we don't know where each other is.
As you get closer, you start to hear voices talking. They're giving out, orders, secure the rope, make sure everything is ready to go, who's got the key to the hatch, that kind of thing. And as you peer inside, you can see about 4 individuals in there of different races. Once again, they're all wearing, the clerical robes. And yeah, into the back right corner of this little belfry tower looks like a well-made trap door. And you can see as the hatch is up, there is a lock hanging from the inside of it.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Well, Jimothy was taking point. What is, was he looking and listening or?
Well, he's looking with you. I mean, he can turn back and whisper and he goes, okay, I think that's the way down. How do we get past these people?
Because they are...
Or they're going to lock us up here.
How far away from the trapdoor? And they're like...
It's a 10 by 10 room.
So it's like a room.
Mm-hmm.
And how many are there?
4.
And are they like clustered on one side? Are they around?
They're just in there. As many as 4 people can fit inside of a 10 by 10 room. Or let's say 15 by... let's say 20 by 20 because it's a large temple and a 10 by 10 bell tower would be stupid. So yeah, 20 by 20 foot room.
Are the bells... Okay, so like in places that they have actual people pull the bells, they tend to stand right on top of each other. Because when they do the bells with each other, sometimes they will have more than one.
The bells are done. They're not ringing the bell anymore.
Right, but what I'm saying is that they're usually in one space. So, and there might be more space around it or whatever. So what I'm saying is there any free room for us to get past them at all?
With 4 people in a 20 by 20 room, there is a possibility, yes.
Okay. So it seems like our best bet. Because I can't cast anything. If I cast anything, we become visible.
Okay. So you're going to try and do what?
We're going to try to stealth around them.
Okay.
Because we are invisible. We might
Give me a stealth check with advantage.
Come on. Golden dice. Fuck yeah. Good job for giving me these dice, too.
What dice did I give you?
You gave me these, like, gold ones.
Oh, those are nice.
Because look what we got.
What'd you get?
20 bitches.
Oh, you just showed me a 2, but I believe you.
No, it's this way.
Yeah, I know. It's like the way it was turned. In your
the
hand.
2 is on the other side.
Yeah.
Well, the first roll was pretty good too, so I was just extra happy to see that 20. Not 20!
All right.
And I add +2 to that, so 22.
So you got a nat 20. Jimothy got an 11. So altogether, that's about a 16 in stealth. Very carefully, you two start making your way around these bumbling people. One of them already starts going down the stairs with a pack on his back, like some type of leather or cloth pack on his back. As the other ones are mulling about, picking up maybe their items as well, and just making their way to the ceremony. You feel Jimothy tap you on the shoulder as he makes his way first, very gently after the first guy. And then I say, with that, that high of a roll and the passive wisdom probably being about 12 of these individuals, the both of you are able to very carefully make it down the rung of stairs, and now you're inside this
passive perception, you mean?
Beautiful hallway. Yeah, passive perception.
Okay. All right, we're in the beautiful hallway.
Yeah. Now, to your left is a door, which is the way that the bleep bleep went, and then to your right, it seems to be just a long hallway that stretches on back towards the rest of the temple.
Is that where the dude went?
What dude?
The dude that was ahead of us.
The dude is making his way away from the blip blip, where the magic object is. And as the other people are coming down behind you, basically you're able to weasel your way in between the people that were coming down, and they've all descended, and they're talking amongst themselves, and they begin to walk away from the general location that you probably need to go.
Okay, so there's a door.
There's a door.
Is it locked?
You'd have to walk up to it, but there are 2 guards. It seems to be outside of it, though.
Are there any other doorways?
No. Yeah, I mean, there's doorways on either side of you. But this one is a large, double, steepled door that goes down to either side, and all the other ones look like small little office doors or, cubbyhole doors and stuff like that. Is
there a door to the left or right of this one that is not guarded?
Yeah, there is, but it's about 20 feet away or so. You're standing on top of some beautiful hardwood floors that are well maintained and oiled. Tapestries and paintings and stuff on the wall as well. If you want to have a kind of idea what the hallways look like, you can open up the Map 1 email that I sent to you.
Okay, so the hallway terminates in these guards flanking the door.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to elbow Jimothy.
Yeah, what?
Okay.
How are we going to get past these guys?
Well, I need you. So, where is the nearest statue? That's at the, like, well, not the nearest to them. I want it to be a little far away.
I'm going to say there are 4 statues in this hallway, 2 on either side, about the 1/3 and 2/3 mark from where the door terminates and from where you're currently standing. So, one's about maybe 30 feet from you, and then one's about 30 feet from them. So yeah, if you want the ones that aren't as close to them, it's the ones, immediately to your left and right. This way, right here and here. But you can go to a little bit further, and there's other statues down there too.
Okay. So things on you are invisible.
Everything's
right?
invisible. Yeah.
Okay. So if I were to say, take a rope out, loop it around something, would the rope remain invisible until I let go of it?
Yeah. That's
Okay.
how that works.
All right. So I'm going to suggest to Jimothy, and we're going to do stage whispers. I'm just going to say it because I don't want to deal with that on the recording.
I got you.
I'm going to whisper to Jimothy that I would suggest what he do is he loop one of his ropes around a statue and like basically get ready to yank it. And like, because that way he'll have some leeway and he can pull the rope back and dash quietly along the side. And I'm going to go on the opposite side to either a tapestry or a painting and just kind of, so opposite side. So basically what I want him to do is have the rope ready to knock the statue over.
Got you.
I'm going to go to the opposite side a little bit closer and have a tapestry or one of those paintings. I'm going to just nudge the edge or something so that it either just creaks and tilts, because I want them to look away from where Jimothy is doing his thing.
Okay.
Look at that and go, and then have him yank it and then book it quietly.
Got you.
So I can start tiptoeing around.
Jimothy goes, I don't need no rope. I'll push it off myself.
I know. The only reason I was suggesting the rope is that you'd be further away from it.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. Okay, I'll do that.
And then you can do it in a much faster
And you're just going to go through the door and get the thing real quick and then run out?
No, I imagine we both have to get in there and close the door behind us. We don't know what's in there.
I don't think I can make it in time if they come over. We'll see. If I'm not there, just go. Just go get your thing and we'll meet outside.
Okay. All right.
I believe in you.
All right.
We may have to go out the back, though, because they locked the door. They locked the hatch above us.
Well, best case scenario, you can kind of mingle, right?
That's smart. That's real smart. We could mingle. We've been to church. We know what to do.
And you know how to blend in with everybody else. Like, you know where the cloakroom is. You know how to potentially put something over you.
No, I don't know any of that, but I'm good at talking to people, so let's do this. And you feel his hand kind of touch your shoulder and follow your arm and pick up your wrist, and then you feel him trying to fist bump your hand.
Okay.
You fist bump him back?
Yes, of course. All right. I'll give the clunky idiot a fist bump, and I'm going to... So I will have told him, like, as soon as he sees the picture start tilting, do his thing.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to find a portrait that is not super close to the guards, but further away from Jimothy.
Yeah.
And...
No, he grabs you and goes, don't touch that portrait. Get to the door. And then when I push the thing over, just go in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got this. We don't need 2 distractions. Just one. 2 distractions is a conspiracy.
Oh, God. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to sidle over until I am right next to the doors, essentially.
Okay.
And wait.
All right. Roll me another stealth check with advantage. I'm going to get you some rolls in. You got that 20 again?
No.
No.
Because of course I didn't. It's exactly what I said would happen. A 15.
A 15? Out of all the dice you can roll on that die is 20. And 15's not that bad.
I hope not.
We'll find out. You inch closer, and you can hear the guards. One of them, he kind of has a little sniffle, like a cold maybe, or just overcoming a cold. He kind of wipes
I pull
his
the scarf over my mouth and nose.
You get over there, count to about 30, and you're watching the statue, watching it, and then the painting on the opposite side of the hall falls off and slams onto the ground. Okay, well, they failed that, so that's good. They're both. The one, the guard looks at the other and goes, "What the hell?" He goes, "I don't know." He goes, "We got it. Come on, we're gonna get in trouble if we don't pick this up. They'll yell at us again." It's like, "Oh, okay." and then begin to walk away. Roll me a perception check.
14.
14. You do see on the hip of one of the guards is a key. And you kind of glance back at the door and you see that there is a lock in these doors as well. But it's just kind of it looks like it's hanging on a hook on his side. It's not tied on or anything like that.
I'm going to sleight of hand it.
Okay. You can do it with...
Myself. If I use Mage Hand, I become visible.
That's true. Go ahead.
Dirty 20.
A dirty 20?
Yes, it was like, it tilted. It went from, it was like 2, 18.
It's like those scenes where somebody's moving and then somebody is trying to do something sneaky behind them. It's like, it's just always out of reach. And that happens for a good 2 or 3 steps before you finally like, you lift off the key and the key is now floating in the air and you now have it in your hand.
Does it go invisible when I grab it?
No.
Damn. I'm going to wait till they get further down the hallway.
Yeah, they're making their way.
And you keep saying that. And then I'm going to...
And one of the guards trips.
Well, because
falls on his face.
How many keys are on the key ring?
Just one.
Oh, okay. So, well, I'm holding it like, you know how you hold something when you're trying to be quiet?
Yeah.
And you don't want it to clank, rattle?
Yeah.
So
And then you saw one of the guards trip.
As soon as he trips, I put it in the lock.
Seems Jimothy might be better at this than you give him credit for. I'm joking.
As soon as he starts swearing under his breath, I'll turn it.
You hear clank.
Because I wait until he's going, son of a... And then I turn it because I don't want
The
them
door
to hear
opens very quietly as if it's well oiled. As if somebody that uses this a lot will not stand for any creaking.
I'm going to slip inside.
All right.
What do I see? And then close the door behind me, obviously. Quietly.
You see another hallway.
Oh, great.
This one's empty. You see once more just a standard array of carpets and beautiful statues and blah, 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 blah. You see several smaller doors, and then you see middle of the hallway on the right side, 2 beautiful, double doors as well. Not steepled, they're square shaped, but you do see, it looks like a room of importance for sure.
Is my wand of locate object pulling me?
It would be out by now. So would you recast it?
Yeah.
Yes, you see it. It's pulling you to that room to the right. You can feel the blip.
Okay.
Blip.
So I'm going to carefully skirt the objects. Just kind of looking for any like traps or pressure plates or anything. Just, I don't know how fastidious these folks are. Or if there's any dust. Do I see any dust anywhere?
Give me a perception check. And then I want an arcana check as well.
16 on perception.
Okay.
And arcana is, 19.
You don't see anything out of the ordinary. From what you can tell so far, this place doesn't seem trapped per se.
I didn't sense any arcana.
No. You did that just to see if there would be, like you said, any magical traps or anything like that. Maybe that the church set up. You do not see anything with that level. You don't see any glyphs. You don't see anything of that sort.
Is there like a well-worn groove in the carpet?
Except the center carpet. You do notice it seems a little bit more poofier than a carpet should be. That is something you notice.
Okay.
You can definitely walk around it.
I'm definitely going to do that.
But you definitely are like, that seems troublesome.
I'm going to avoid the poofy carpet.
Okay. You make your way around it and you're in front of both of the doors.
Are these locked?
You go to try, and yes, they are locked.
Does it look like the key I have in my hand will fit?
I'm going to say no. It's a smaller key, but it's a perforated double door.
Perforated.
Well. Thank you.
Okay.
Use a sword.
I stabbed the door.
Right.
Well, I don't think I have lockpicks, but I can still try to pick a lock, right? Or do I have to have lockpicks? I don't think I have thieves' tools.
You don't necessarily need to do that. You can certainly try. It'll just be a much higher DC.
I have a small knife.
Okay. What would you like to do with that small knife?
And I have soap.
Okay, so you soap up the knife, then what?
I'm going to attempt to... Well, I might have a hairpin.
Maybe.
A hairpin is probably better than a small knife. But yeah, still use soap because it makes it like...
Okay.
Because it's like a bar of soap, right?
Yeah.
So
you're going to make channeling your inner rogue, like your friend who is now elsewhere, your little halfling friend. Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Hey, jewel crafter.
Yes, he's a jewel crafter. Just like you're a bard. Or a
Sleight
musician.
of hand is 14, so I know that's not going to work. 14.
14. It does work. The DC was 10 because this is just a simple lock. You fiddle with the lock for long enough, and then you decide that that's stupid, so you just pull out your small knife because your little hairpin thing bent, and you jimmy inside the little bolt. Push. Ah! You hear a kind of a snap as you look at the tip of your knife is now broken off, but the door is now open.
Where is the tip?
On the floor.
I'm going to pick it up.
You can't find it. It's invisible.
I'm going to feel for it.
You find it.
Okay. Because I don't want anything left.
Inside this room, looks like a large room. It's definitely living quarters. If you want to open up your second email, you can. But essentially, for people that are curious at home, you have inside to the right a 4-post bed with a large chef robe as well. A changing chamber right to the left of it that is, blinded off by one of those foldable dividers where there's a wash station, a chamber pot, things of that sort. The beautiful wooden floors as well. There is a fire that has ash still in it and a few logs that wasn't completely burnt, but the fire is gone. And then to your left, you do indeed see a study of some sort. There is a desk with a nice circular carpet with a chair on it. And then, of course, there are a few beautiful paintings on the wall as well. You get the sense that this is the arch cleric's room, Kadad. So what would you like to do?
Where's the wand yoinking me?
The wand is yoinking you to the painting on the left.
Okay. And just a quick question.
Yeah.
So when I was in the room before,
Yeah.
it was like a display area.
More of an entry hall, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Okay. So I'm going to head towards the painting on the left. And
Okay.
carefully, I'm going to look around. Like, does it look like if you're here for a while, you probably don't want to trap your own living quarters.
Right.
But does there anything look sus?
Roll me a sus check,
Okay.
also known as an insight check.
Let me suss this out. That's a very good roll. You said insight?
Yeah.
Jesus, it's 22.
22. There does not seem to be anything out of the ordinary or suspicious in here, except for the little blip behind the painting to your left. And there is a painting of the Archbishop himself, Kadad. You've seen him before when you were doing your theater concert that you did where you first heard the voice of the goddess when you were in Mirror the first time. You do see him there standing in full regalia robe, wearing his symbol, on a gold chain around his neck, all stand up and proper half-orc individual.
Okay. So does the painting... Okay, so I'm drawn to the painting, like in the painting itself.
You're in front of the painting. The blip is coming either on the other side of the painting or on the front side of the painting. That is what it's brought you to. That's as far as that spell will go.
So I'm going to kind of like using like a rag over my hands or something.
Okay.
Kleenex. I'm going to like run my fingers around.
Okay.
Do I feel either a hinge or a button?
You feel no hinge, and as you touch the painting, it kind of moves a little bit as it seems to be held on some, very strong rope or twine. It's a big painting. It's like almost a full-size portrait of him, essentially.
Okay. I'm going to like kind of like try to lift it slightly away from the wall, not enough to make it fall.
Yeah.
But just enough to where like
back behind it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You look back behind it, and all you see is just the back of a painting with the brown paper and the solid stone wall and a piton that is stuck into the stone above where it is hanging from.
I'm going to feel the wall.
It feels solid. You feel no grooves. You just feel, and you do feel where there are tiny grooves from where the bricks are laid together, the stone are laid together. But as for right now, it doesn't feel like anything extra. There's no safe behind it or anything like that.
Okay, what about the painting? Does that feel like when you run your fingers over the back of the painting? Does it feel?
You touch the painting?
Yeah.
Okay. The back of the painting?
Yeah.
Oh, it feels like paper. It feels like that hard paper that they put on the back of portraits and frames and stuff like that.
Okay. I'm going to lay the painting back down against the wall.
Right.
And I'm going to step back and look at it again. Do the edges look like anything? Does the frame itself look like anything? Is he, when he's in his regalia, is he wearing the thing?
He is wearing... Give me a... I don't even need a perception check. Yeah, it does seem like, since you know what it looks like, it is very similar to what their holy symbol looks like anyways. They say, yes, the one he's wearing seems a lot older than it probably should.
So can I kind of reach out with my senses and see if this painting is alarmed or trapped in any way?
Arcana check, please. You're looking for magical traps, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I mean, this is a high-level ranking cleric. Of course he has high magic. I think...
23.
I forgot what level I put the arch clerics up, but they could vaporize you and your brother in a snap of their fingers, I think, if I remember correctly.
As most should be able to, probably.
There are etchings of runes along what first looks like just a maze work of frames to make it look beautiful like you would with crown molding and things like that. You actually notice they actually form runes of some sort. You're not sure what it's for, but there is something magical about this painting. As far as alarms go, maybe, maybe not. You're not sure, but you can tell it's magical for sure.
The whole painting is?
Yeah. The frame, for sure, and maybe everything inside of it.
Oh man, I don't have Dispel.
You don't have Dispel magic?
Mm-mm.
That's okay. Maybe pick it up next time.
There won't be a next time. Because I have Detect Magic, but I can tell it's magic.
Yeah, you did it with a nice Arcana check.
What I'm going to do...
Okay.
Is, you said there's still some embers in the fire, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go blow on the fire a little bit.
Okay.
Try to get it going again.
Okay.
And then what... I'm assuming, is there like a rug in front of the fireplace?
There is.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to take like the shovel or the poker or something and get it ready. Because what I'm going to essentially do is I'm going to grab at the painting.
Okay.
Try to grab the symbol, see if I can like actually grab it through it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to basically take an ember and then put it right at the edge of the rug and like coax it into sparking on the rug.
Okay.
Because even if I don't think it'll go into full fire, because like, despite people being like, oh no, ember, fire, blah, blah, blah. Realistically, with a lot of these really old rugs, they tend to have a lot of moisture in them. Okay. So a lot of times it just like
so you're going to set the room on fire as a distraction? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well,
okay.
As a focal point. So
gotcha.
You walk in and it's like, even if nothing like burns down, because I'm not trying to burn the place down, but it'll be just one of those like, oh man, it jumped out and burned a hole in my rug. So he'll be like, my rug, and he won't look at anything else. So I'm trying to potentially, and if an alarm goes off, I will set the place on fire. So,
okay. All right. So you've coaxed it. Give me a survival check. So you can coax the fire back up.
I have a tinderbox. I'll just set the thing on fire. 14 plus, what do you say, survival?
Yeah.
Plus 1, 15. Can I make a fire?
The coals are pretty far gone to make a fire, but there are fresh logs in there. I would say you would put that in there, maybe cover it up with some of that.
Smallest one.
Oh, yeah. But after that, you can definitely get a tinder going. It takes about 5 minutes to do so, but you're able to get it done.
Okay.
By now, you're about halfway through your invisibility spell.
Okay.
All right. Now what do you want to do as you got this fire coaxed and possibly ready to with a poker to pull out into the rug?
Yeah, well, just one like little piece of it. It's just kind of like it spits, because fires will do that sometimes. They spit.
I'm vibing with you. Yeah.
I'm going to go to the painting, go like, all right, bitches, here we go. And just kind of, yeah.
Your hand does go through it, like through liquid. And you can, as you reach, you actually feel you actually can feel the fabric of his robes. Just like he's right there.
Ew.
There's no reaction. And then your fingers move a little bit, and then you can see. It's like you stick your hand in a puddle, and you can see just underneath as your hand's kind of refracted at a different angle. You are able to grab a hold of that symbol, and as you pull, it unlatches from the portrait's neck. There's no change in expression or anything like that. It's just like being able to touch a 3D painting.
Okay, so I grab it and take it.
Okay.
Tuck it away.
You pull it out. You hold it and you look down on it, and yes, it is very old. But you immediately feel out of your peripheral, you see something. Something white.
I duck, roll, and back away.
Duck, roll, and back away. Give me an acrobatics check.
Just immediately. Oh, shit. Cocked. Oh, my first... Oh, I think this is my first nat 20. No, it might be my second one.
Nat 20?
Yeah, with my pointy dice.
You pull it out. Your instincts instantly take over. You tuck, roll, jive, dart, and then get behind the desk, get up, and ready to cast spells. Symphony and Ivory in front of you, ready to protect yourself, and there's nothing there. But quite similar to the locate object spell, there is a bright white dot in your vision. It's far. And I don't how good is Leah with north, south, east, and west?
Oh, very. Unlike me.
Unlike you.
She's great.
It seems to be in the direction of the lake.
Okay.
And you get the sense that maybe this tells you where to go.
So I'm going to... Do I hear anything? Are there any bells, alarms, any yelling?
No.
I'm going to coax one of the little embers to just kind of...
Okay.
Just to create like a burnt spot.
You're setting the rug on fire.
Not on fire. I'm just smoldering the edges of it. I don't want it to catch on fire. I want it to burn the edges. You know what I mean?
Okay. Give me a...
But I'm going to have it like as if it jumped. So a little black spot.
Another survival check.
That's pretty good. 16.
You're able to start a small fire on the rug.
But I want to make sure it burns out. Like it's not on fire.
You do understand things have to burn in order to be able to smolder, right?
Yes, but like... Kind of like, you know how if you cut a cord and then you use a lighter to burn the edge of it, it'll catch for a little bit and then you blow it out. And so it's just like the solidified black goop.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for is I want it to be like somebody like, really?
Yeah.
As opposed
then
to like...
Let's just say there was some smoke that did go up and yeah, it did eventually die down.
Okay, but I'm trying to make it look as natural as possible.
It's pretty natural.
Okay. And then I'm going to tiptoe back out the... Well, because there's no egress from this room, right? Are the windows super skinny, or is this guy got a balcony seat?
He's on the 3rd floor. There's no balcony. There's no entrance to a balcony here. There's actually no windows either. It's just one room with the doors that come into it.
Okay, so I'm going to kind of look around a little bit. Is there anything of interest in his desk, maybe?
You start pilfering through the desk, and you just find notes upon notes, letters, open letters, a few sealed letters as well. You find other documents, schedulings and stuff like that. Nothing of any interest at all.
Okay.
You do hear the doors in the hallway open. And you do hear footsteps.
I'm going to hide under the bed.
Under the bed?
Everybody hides under the bed.
Okay. A few moments later, the doors open, and in walks an assortment of guards. About 6 of them. The Archbishop is not with them. In fact, you would think that the ceremony is still possibly going on, and if you listen just hard enough, you can hear the echoings of a low-registered voice still talking. But the guards come in, and one of them says, "The Archcleric sent the signal. Send the signal. He sent the signal. I'm sorry." Start searching the room. Under the bed, in the chest, in the chef robes.
I want to wait until, because I know they're going to see the rug damage in front of the fire first.
Yeah.
So,
one of them does and starts making his way over to it. Just to kind of examine it. But they're scattering out in this room. The door's open.
Well, that's what I was waiting for, is because that is obviously a point of, because there's fire on the rugs. Like, not on fire, but So as soon as I see enough of them that way, I'm going to just try to loop around them. Like, roll out. And
give me one more stealth check.
Still with advantage because I'm still visible.
Yes.
Briefly.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the dirty 20.
Okay. And you're able to skitter past all of them, but it would seem some type of an alarm did go off, just one you did not hear.
I figured it would. Be too easy otherwise.
Scamper out. There's a few other guards outside, but you're able to weasel past them and get back to the room to where the ladder was to the now locked trapdoor to the belfry. Your brother's nowhere in sight.
Sure.
Naturally.
And the stairs that are around the corner, they go down like towards the...
Yeah, they'll go down to the
areas?
second floor, yeah.
And the second floor was like administrative stuff, right?
Correct.
And then the first floor is the
Mm-hmm.
worshipers and all that?
Yep.
Okay.
You got it. Like a museum.
So I'm going to go down the stairs.
Okay. By yourself?
Well, I don't know where Jimothy is.
Okay.
Because he said he was going to mingle, right?
I don't think that was very clear what was to happen afterwards. But give me a perception check.
Because I have no way of knowing where he is. 13.
You glance across and you can see actually there's a tapestry that seems to be moving in the wind. Every now and then it seems like a slight breeze hits it when there's no breeze.
I'm going to sidle over near it. And do I smell his farts?
No.
Okay. Hey, look, I'm just
You're
saying.
you're so hard on my boy.
Well, you know,
He's your sibling, I understand.
it's your job. I'm going to say, Jimothy,
Yeah. God, shit, you scared me.
you ready to get out of here?
Let's fucking go.
Okay.
The guards came up. I got scared.
So I'm going to hand him my scarf again.
All right.
And then we're going to go down to second floor,
Okay.
admin.
All right.
And then first floor, like where the...
For the sake of brevity, we will say that the two of you are able to very carefully make your way out. But as you do see there is an influx of guards kind of opening doors quietly and going inside in pairs and shutting them back quietly while the ceremony is still going on. By this time, you can hear the Archbishop himself giving his ceremony, and people are clapping and talking, and just, a few hymns maybe even sung. But the temple does look like there's a full search going on as you are both able to make your way out without causing any further alarm. And that is going to be a good stopping point for us, I think, for this episode.
All right, sounds good.
All right, and then I guess after this, we'll come back and you guys can go and see if you can find out where this key, this medallion, leads you to.
Absolutely.
We will be taking the next week off from the post because it is it's Boxing Day, the day after Christmas. So we will be, after this episode, our next post will be probably January 9th. So we're going to see all of you in the new year. And we hope you have all of your themes ready to go. If you're a kind of person that likes New Year's resolutions, I would highly suggest looking up CGP Gray's themes on YouTube. It's really good for those that may have anxiety when it comes to setting goals, and it leaves an open-ended vagueness to where you feel comfortable and are having fun. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. And Miranda, is there anything else you'd like to provide?
No, I mean, I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday season, whether you don't celebrate at all or you celebrate the Jewish Festival of Lights or Hanukkah or Christmas,
Or Kwanzaa, as one of our friends Damien does.
or Festivus.
Yes.
Kwanzaa is...
What did I say?
It's not Kwanzaa.
Oh my goodness. I'm tired. The DM's always tired after the session. Kwanzaa. I do apologize. I have to tell Damien how much I butchered that.
Yeah, or Festivus, the thing for the rest of us.
Or Saturnalia, which is how I think that's how you pronounce that. How the Romans used to, whatever, Yule time, all of it. Let's just have a wonderful
Yule,
time.
absolutely.
Curled up with a nice book written by yours truly. Sorry, I had to shoehorn that in there.
Absolutely, as you
Is
should.
your stress levels coming down? That was stressful, wasn't it?
Well, I mean, they are in some, but they're like much worse in others because the whole point was not to know that anything was taken, and that did not work.
Absolutely. All right, everyone. Take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Please leave a review anywhere you found us. You can reach out to us on Twitter at Bountiful Bards. We hope to see you again on the civilized road.
And bring bread and cheese.
As the story goes, until then.